time and a place for everything. I'm not gonna say he's right and I'm not gonna say he's wrong. You know, but it's so crazy. When he spoke about it, I could have easily came out and said, yeah, you spoke about it. I ain't have to say nothing.
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Yo, too, we're back again with some more boxing news in the boxing world. We got some breaking news. Gary Jonas, Lamont Roach's promoter, says this rematch is a done deal.
Floyd Mayweather has once again captured the spotlight, this time making headlines with a bold and unexpected warning aimed directly at his former protege, Gervonta Tank Davis. In a move that has caught many in the boxing community off guard, Mayweather has publicly urged Davis to reconsider his decision and seriously contemplate pulling out of his highly anticipated rematch with Lamont Roach. Known throughout the sport for his exceptional strategic mind, both when he was an active fighter and now as a boxing promoter and mentor, Mayweather's cautionary message has triggered a wave of intense speculation across the global boxing world. Tensions are steadily rising as fans, analysts, and insiders question what could have prompted this dramatic plea. Conversations everywhere now revolve around whether there's more to this rematch with Roach than initially perceived and whether Mayweather possesses critical insights or information that the public does not yet fully understand.
I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. It's going to be a tough night for Roach, but you can never count him out. You know, watching him fight up close and personal, he's sneaky good, which means he can catch you at any time. He can land combinations, sometimes at will, without you even knowing it. You know, he's that sneaky. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But, you know, obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience. He has the knowledge. He has that mean streak in him that will take you out with any.
Despite the warnings, Davis has officially returned to his training camp with full commitment as he prepares for his much-anticipated rematch against Lamont Roach Jr., which is now officially scheduled for August 16th in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas. This upcoming bout follows their controversial initial meeting earlier this year, which ended in a disputed draw that left fans and experts debating for weeks. A key moment in that fight was a highly debated non-knockdown incident in the 9th round, which sparked intense conversations about the legitimacy of the ruling. Determined to silence critics and solidify his dominance within the fiercely competitive lightweight division, Davis is now pushing himself harder than ever. His training regimen is being intensified, with a strong emphasis on both peak physical conditioning and refined strategic preparation to ensure he leaves no doubts this time. The first clash between Davis and Roach became notorious for the controversy that erupted, especially regarding a critical sequence that took place in the 9th round. During that moment, Davis unexpectedly took a knee after absorbing what appeared to be a routine jab from Roach. Davis later explained that the cause was not the punch's impact but rather grease from his hair treatment that had dripped into his eyes, severely impairing his vision. Referee Steve Willis began an official count as per protocol but, in a highly unusual decision, abruptly stopped midway, allowing Davis to retreat to his corner for assistance, a direct violation of boxing rules that govern active rounds. This highly irregular sequence led to widespread belief among fans and analysts that a knockdown should have been formally recorded, which might have changed the final outcome of the fight. The incident was reviewed by the New York State Athletic Commission, but despite the backlash and public outcry, the commission ultimately upheld the original ruling, leaving the fight's result unchanged.
I don't know what the just happened. You're a referee, you're biggest, you should have seen what the going on. Why I would, if I'm in the corner, I'm erratic in between rounds. What was your feeling in between rounds when you seen that?
we was going off. Actually, my assistant coach, Ben Johnson, he was going off on him. Like, hey, Steve, the f is wrong with you? He was cursing him out and everything. He was like, that was a damn. Yeah, he just stood off and waved us off, and he was like,
yeah, because for me, one person would have been having to deal with Lamont, and the other would have been the whole 60 seconds.
Yeah, that's how it was. I was dealing with him, and my man Ben was dealing with the rough.
Right.
Throughout their first encounter, Lamont Roach showcased remarkable resilience, unwavering determination, and an impressive display of boxing skill that earned him significant respect. Roach stood toe-to-toe with Davis, consistently absorbing the incoming attacks while effectively countering with precision. His ability to handle Davis's power and return fire efficiently made a lasting impression on the boxing community. Roach's defensive expertise combined with his sharp counterpunching highlighted him as a truly formidable opponent, solidifying his reputation as someone capable of competing at the highest level and pushing even the most dangerous fighters to their limits.
What I didn't know is that once Lamont Roach stepped into the ring, he would be the bigger fighter. What I didn't know is that once he was in the ring and he looked like the bigger fighter, he fought like the bigger fighter, because ladies and gentlemen, from opening bell, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Walked right to him and stayed in his face all night long. If he backed up at all, ladies and gentlemen, it was 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis caught him with some good shots. He took it and then gave it back. Body punches, counter punches, left hook, straight right. This brother Lamont Roach can fight. And he's beautiful defensively as well. And seemed completely unfazed and undeterred by Tank Davis, a knockout.
Demonstrating keen foresight and strategic planning, Lamont Roach had wisely included a rematch clause in his original fight contract. This provision guaranteed that if he were to lose or if the fight were to conclude in a draw, as it ultimately did, he would automatically be entitled to an immediate rematch. This move not only reflected Roach's self-confidence but also revealed his deep understanding of the business side of boxing. By proactively securing his opportunity for another shot, Roach ensured that he would not be denied the chance to prove himself again, regardless of the initial outcome. This decision showcased both his calculated mindset and his firm belief in his boxing abilities.
I happen to be a boxing fan, that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we take?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
For his part, Gervonta Davis is fully committed to arranging and participating in the rematch with Lamont Roach. He is acutely aware that his reputation took a significant hit following the controversial draw in their first encounter. Davis views this rematch as a crucial chance to demonstrate his superiority, to conclusively settle the unresolved tension between them, and to re-establish his rightful place among the elite fighters in the world. He knows that this fight is not just about defending his record, it's about proving a point, reclaiming his dominance, and silencing any remaining doubt.
We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on the decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevens, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else, and that is the hairstylist situation. My humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing is going to look at that like, I don't want to braid my hair. No one would say that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims. All his receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying They had no research early. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? Let me know.
However, Floyd Mayweather's pointed question to Davis is deeply rooted in both strategic calculation and long-term reputational concern. Mayweather, drawing from his own extensive experience navigating the treacherous waters of high-stakes fights, believes that proceeding with this rematch under the current circumstances could pose a serious, perhaps unnecessary, risk to Davis's unblemished record and overall standing within the sport. His advice carries weight, especially given his unmatched expertise in selecting the right fights at the right times. Mayweather is essentially urging Davis to thoroughly analyze and carefully weigh the potential long-term consequences that a rematch with Roach could bring.
Credit here because I have a lot of criticism for Gervonta Davis and Canelo Alvarez for the choice of opponents. But at least Gervonta Davis is doing the Mayweather. He's giving the immediate rematch.
Right.
You had a tough fight, you're doing the immediate rematch. I like it.
All right, so what I'm
I need
curious
to
about,
push back real quick.
Yeah, I knew you would. Go ahead.
Push back. I'm giving the guy credit.
I like Gervonta Davis. I know you talk a lot about his opponents and whatever, and you're talking about Lamont Roach.
We're not going to go pick a
But okay,
find me a less than a 10-1 underdog and he fought on pay-per-view.
Look, I'm talking about this fight right here. Look at the first fight. So, picking Lamont Roach, you're saying, oh, he's basically cherry picking is what you're alluding to. He has a history with the guy. They've been in the gym together. They sparred together. They fought in the amateurs. He knew the level that Lamont brought. Also, Lamont's one of those guys. You ask anybody in the boxing world, they know how good Lamont is, and it's his record, leading up to him getting to the title shot or getting his title win. It's kind of like, the Jamel Herring fight's really hard to forget. He struggled with some guys that you wouldn't expect him to, but he's really come into his own because the guy who was in the gym that everybody saw coming up has been realized now. So I don't think Gervonta Davis was handpicking an easy guy in Lamont Roach. Stylistically, listen, Gervonta's team's not dumb. They look at what this guy can do and where he can give him troubles, and it certainly worked out that way. Did they overlook him a little bit in terms of being like, I beat him back then. He struggled here and there. I'm just too good. I'm at a different level. I think that Lamont really stepped up. So I'm going. So, Gervonta's that good, but guess what? So's Lamont.
So I was exaggerating. That's what you're saying. I'm exaggerating.
You tend to be hyperbolic at times, yes.
How dare he? How?
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and a respected boxing trainer in his own right, openly expressed his surprise regarding the controversial outcome of the first Davis vs. Roach fight. Jeff admitted that he was caught off guard by how the bout unfolded inside the ring, particularly the unusual events that led to the final result. Nevertheless, Jeff made it clear that he remains a strong supporter and admirer of Gervonta Davis. He emphasized that, in his view, the fight was not a robbery. However, he acknowledged that Lamont Roach's unexpectedly strong performance had an undeniable impact on how Davis is now perceived within the boxing world. According to Jeff, fighters who once viewed Davis as an untouchable force are now beginning to believe they can challenge him, raising serious questions about Davis's continued dominance and the intimidation factor he once commanded.
Jeff Mayweather here, the Mayweather Boxing Club. How are you doing, sir?
Okay.
You don't look okay. All right, well, we got this potential rematch everybody wants to see, Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. First of all, are you surprised that everybody's wanting to see a rematch between these two? Because no one expected it to be a close fight in the first place.
That much is true. Me, myself, I'm a big Tank fan. And I was shocked. I was shocked at the outcome of the fight.
Who did you have winning the fight?
I have Roach winning the fight.
Do you consider it robbery, or do you lean Roach and are cool with the draw?
I wouldn't say it was a robbery. I mean, the fight was close. But if I was a judge, I would have gave Roach the fight.
Some boxing experts are now convinced that Davis's intensified training efforts in preparation for his upcoming rematch with Lamont Roach could be the decisive factor that leads him to victory. Following the unresolved conclusion of their first fight, Davis has returned to training camp with a level of focus and determination that many believe could make all the difference. Analysts point to his newly adopted disciplined approach, significantly enhanced physical conditioning, and critical tactical adjustments as key advantages heading into this second bout. Known for his explosive punching power and high-level ring intelligence, Tank Davis is expected to showcase a sharper, more refined version of himself. If these improvements translate effectively into his in-ring performance, many observers predict that Davis won't just win, he will make a powerful statement by reasserting his supremacy over the lightweight division.
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, the rematch is on. Lamont Roach fought a perfect fight. Gervonta didn't look so great. In the rematch, Gervonta can do a lot more better. Roach can't. Gervonta may win this one.
Teddy Atlas, widely regarded as one of the most respected and insightful boxing analysts in the sport, did not hesitate to praise Gervonta Davis's unique skill set. According to Atlas, Davis is the complete package, combining elite athleticism, lightning-fast reflexes, and razor-sharp decision-making abilities inside the ring. Atlas emphasized that Davis's exceptional ring IQ places him in a league of his own, setting him apart from his peers. Davis's impeccable timing, counterpunching skills, and expert use of angles make him one of the most efficient and dangerous fighters currently active. Atlas firmly believes that Davis's deep understanding of boxing tactics grants him a significant edge over almost any opponent, and that edge is a major reason why many now consider him among the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world today. However, some now argue that Davis may have underestimated Lamont Roach during their initial meeting, possibly dismissing Roach as just another opponent. This miscalculation may have contributed to less than optimal preparation, which ultimately led to a surprising performance that exposed some unexpected vulnerabilities.
The way that he boxes, he's versatile. You know, he could do a lot of things. He could go get you. He's got the attitude of a fighter. He's not a huge puncher. Obviously, Tank Davis is the puncher in this. But Roach could go get you, but he could box. I think he's better served. He's got long arms, good length. He's better served. He's got a good boxing IQ. He's fundamentally solid. He's better served to box on the outside with the always dangerous Tank Davis. Box, see if he can get it done. Angles, pot shot, be disciplined enough to do that all night long. I think he should stay away from trying to go on the inside, which again, he's got the attitude of a real fighter, which you love. And I wouldn't be shocked if Roach said, oh no, I'm going to go inside sometimes. I don't know that that would be the best choice. He knows how to do it if he wants to. At the end of the day, all of what I said, Bud, it's one thing that really makes the difference. It's not because Tank Davis is just undefeated. It's not because Tank Davis is just a great puncher. He's just a full package. He's really, really the full. I don't make him pound for pound up there. He's up there in the top 5 pound for pound. I don't put him there because he's a puncher. I put him there because he is a complete darn fighter. He can go get you. He can fight in the trenches. He can go to the body, the head. He can use his legs when he has to. He can set traps. He can counterpunch.
That humbling experience appears to have completely transformed Davis's mindset and approach as he heads into the rematch. This time, Davis is strictly business, laser-focused, and displaying a level of dedication and intensity in training that insiders describe as unprecedented. Unlike before, Davis now approaches this fight as if he's facing a world-class, top-tier threat. His renewed focus and serious commitment suggest that Lamont Roach may face an entirely different kind of opponent in the rematch, one who has learned from past mistakes and refuses to be complacent. On the other side, Lamont Roach is equally aware that his impressive showing in their first bout will not be enough to guarantee success this time. In multiple recent interviews, Roach has made it abundantly clear that he is taking the rematch extremely seriously. He openly admits that Gervonta Tank Davis is no easy challenger and has stressed the importance of preparing meticulously for every possible scenario. Roach has deliberately chosen not to grow overconfident, instead treating this upcoming fight as a completely new challenge that demands absolute focus and precision.
Three matches that you fought.
Yeah, bro.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't give me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gigs?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gigs, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
However, despite Davis's determination, there is a growing belief among some boxing commentators and critics that perhaps Davis should avoid the rematch entirely. They argue that Davis might genuinely struggle to defeat Lamont Roach in their second meeting. These skeptics reference the first fight as compelling evidence that Roach has potentially cracked the code to neutralize Davis's formidable power and effectively exploit defensive gaps in his style. Roach's disciplined game plan, superior control of the ring, and ability to systematically frustrate Davis have led some experts to speculate that a rematch could reveal even more weaknesses in Davis's approach. With Davis's undefeated record at stake, critics suggest that stepping back into the ring with Roach under these circumstances could be a gamble with potentially damaging career consequences. To ensure he is fully prepared, Davis has enlisted the help of veteran trainer Kenny Ellis, renowned for his strict training discipline and sharp boxing intelligence. Ellis has wasted no time refining Davis's overall skill set. Observers within the camp have already noticed marked improvements, including Davis's enhanced precision, more efficient defensive movements, and a noticeable upgrade in the sharpness and accuracy of his combinations. Rather than simply correcting the mistakes from the first fight, Ellis is systematically elevating Davis's entire boxing arsenal, transforming him into a more complete, versatile, and adaptive fighter. Ellis's mentorship is quickly becoming a pivotal factor in Davis's preparation as he seeks to overcome the complex challenges Roach presented during their first bout.
The interview circuit, right, kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. You know, he says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing, and the fight is going to be similar. But hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer. Got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically forcing Lamont Roach to try to initiate something with slower hands, score his points, and get out. And he said the reason that he believes that Lamont Roach would be able to do that.
For Gervonta Davis, this fight transcends a typical rematch. It has evolved into a deeply personal mission for redemption. The lingering sting of their controversial draw remains a source of immense frustration, one that Davis simply cannot ignore or brush aside. That disappointment has now become his primary source of motivation, fueling his desire to train with relentless intensity and unshakable determination. Davis is not merely preparing for another competitive fight, he is fighting to restore his tarnished reputation and re-establish his status as a dominant force in the lightweight division. Every single training session is approached as if it is a make-or-break opportunity, a critical step in reclaiming control of his narrative and proving to the world that he remains one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport.
As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing is going to look at that like, I don't want to make my hair. No one would have said no. But she hurt herself and she came out and publicly made multiple claims. Got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for. saying, oh, this had the grease or oil in it. Who cares? Who cares? Not even believe it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, what she spoke of? You let me know.
Now the ultimate question remains, what do you think? Should Gervonta Davis proceed with the rematch against Lamont Roach, risking his undefeated record and legacy? Or is he stepping into a dangerous situation that could jeopardize his career and standing in the boxing world?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.